Yo guys, what is up? We're here with another prize picks video on the channel, and today we are gonna cover this one, the Copa America matchups for tomorrow, in which we have Brazil versus Costa Rica, and then we also have Colombia against, I forgot who it is. Who is Colombia playing against? Let me check real quick. Okay, it's Paraguay. Yeah. Okay, so it's Brazil versus Costa Rica, and then Colombia versus Paraguay. But let's go ahead and get started with the Brazil players. And of course, I think one of the only players that we know for sure probably are going to start. I would say Vinicius, Rodrigo. I would say maybe Rafinha. And then also, I would think that Danilo is going to start. So those are my favorite ones to start. Obviously, you have also center backs in Douglas Luiz. You have over here Gabriel. And then you have also Eder Militao, and then you also have Wendell as a fullback. So I'm kind of gonna stay away from those because I want to see what formations they actually start with. And then they have Marquinhos as well. So obviously that's like three center backs, four center backs, that potential center backs that could start. But let's go ahead and start with Vinicius, 3.5 shots. I think this is a little bit of a high line, but I like it more on him. As you see, the Rodrigo one is 3.0. And obviously, like I keep saying, these stats are not from their teams. I mean, from their international teams, they're from their club teams. So what we're going to see here is I like the over on Vinicius Jr. 3.5 shots. Obviously, he is their best player, undoubtedly. And if there's anyone that you're going to bet on to take more than 3.5 shots, it's him. And like I said, you see the ones right here, Rafinha and Rodrigo. Kind of hard to take the over because it's a 3.0 shot. But then again, they're playing Costa Rica, who they're much better than. As we see, even though Brazil hasn't had the best, warm-up games, against Mexico, they only tied last minute. And then against USA, they tied. Against Mexico, they beat them last minute. Against USA, they tied. But like I said, the line from Rodrigo and Rafinha, I don't really like at that 3.0. If it's a 2.5, I would be tempted to take the over on both of those. Or if it's a 3.5, I maybe would switch. But I kind of have to look and get an eye out on these if they change at all. But for Vinicius Jr., I do like the over on that one for sure. And then Danilo is the one that I think would start. I think he's probably the more, in my opinion, the more probable to start again with Eder Militao, maybe as a fullback or a center back. But 73.5 passes, as you see, even in his team, he's averaging 74.2. In this game, I would definitely think he's gonna get over this line pretty easily. They're gonna play Costa Rica. Costa Rica has to stay back and defend, or else they will be punished by Vinicius and Rafinha and Rodrigo. They're gonna throw long balls behind their backs, and we see Vinicius and a long ball running down that wing create so much havoc, and he could score in any one of those chances. They leave too much space behind them. So I will think he would get over on this line for Danilo on 73.5 passes attempted. Then speaking of the other ones, of course, we're also going to see you see Gabriel Martinelli is another one who might start, but I don't think he would start. And then the other two that most potentially was start, Lucas Paquetá and Bruno Guimaraes. Although I don't know where I'm going to go with those. 76.5 is the passes attempted for Bruno. And then for Lucas Paquetá is 62.5. But I do like the one with Bruno and 76.5 passes attempted. I like the over, as you see in Newcastle. He averages 67, and I would think that in this game he's going to get even more. Like I said, they're playing Costa Rica, and if he starts, he should get over this line pretty easily. Now let's go ahead and get into the Colombia ones. I'm kind of going to cover the two big teams that are playing tomorrow, not necessarily Paraguay as much. But right here, we're going to see Colombia, they also have a very good squad, and probably the most prominent player, most famous player, is Luis Diaz at 2.5 shots. You see right here, 2.5 is the line for him, and so I feel like it's a kind of low line for him. I would expect it to have at a 3 or 3.5, but as you see, it's a very popular one now that's everyone's taking, and I do like the over 1.5 shots. Obviously, it's a goblin for a reason. You see the demon. That's probably why they don't have the official line at 3.5, but 2.5. I really like the over on this one for him. And then we're gonna go ahead and see some of the defenders for Colombia. So depending on who starts, Davidson Sanchez is one of the defenders, and then Machado is another defender that could potentially start. But I wasn't sure where to go with those. As you see, they're only on tackles and fouls. But one that I will probably, one that I do like for sure over here is James Rodriguez, 2.0 shots or goals. You see it's a demon play for the goal, but 1.5 shots a goblin. I kind of like the over on this one. I'm not too sure on the 2.5 or the 2.0, but if you do the 2.0 or the 2.5, you might as well take the 2.5. You're gonna do the 2.0. It only makes sense to take that one instead. But yeah, as you see here, I like the over on that one on 1.5. I'm not too sure about the 2.0. And then last but not least, defender. He's the only one that has passes attempted as a defender is Lucimi or Lucimi. Where is he? Right here. Again, I kind of like the under on this one. I feel like Paraguay might be a little bit underrated. I know they're not at their best right now, but I think they could get a good game against Colombia. I still think Colombia will probably win. I don't know if it'll be an easy game or not. I have to see how they play, but I feel like taking the under on this one for sure. With that, I leave you guys this video on this Brazil-Colombia combo video. Like, comment, subscribe. I will put another one for the Euro Cup